Heidi has had a wonderful time playing with Hunky Dory's new collection, Was the Night Before Christmas. And don't you think it's just the perfect time for that? We have the topper collection, we have the inserts, we have foiled acetate, we have these large, they call them DL images, and we have this wonderful pack of 4x4, all of them in Twas the Night Before Christmas. We ask you to please come and play with us. Okay, here is Heidi's first card. I have to tell you, she has done an amazing job with this collection. So this is a 5-inch square card, and it has this panel across the front, which I absolutely love. But look what else she's done. She's really used those those die cuts perfectly, as well as this bow. So I'll show you that. So this is 5x5 square, so it's going to be either use our 5x5 cards or cut a 10x5-inch piece of white cardstock, and then you do want to fold the front back like so. Now, what Heidi has done is she used this piece of the adorable squirrel that's in the topper collection, and you can see that she has cut pieces to go on the front, actually on each panel. Now all of the directions, all of the measurements are going to be down below in the gallery. So I'm only going to give you the most basic measurements, so I'm not going to measure every single thing because you've got it there in writing. So she's got a piece here, same size piece right there, and then also on the back. And you'll notice that she cut them smaller than the size of the card. That way the card gives a nice frame to it. So this is the sheet that she used, and this is the sheet of the die cuts that she used. So you can see there's Santa, there is the fireside, and then there is the books with the puppy waiting next to the presents. So that works just really nicely. Now, this piece has been cut from our Christmas Memories cardstock. So it's new that we have cardstock to match our papers, but since Hunky Dory didn't do a collection, we kind of are pitch hitting for them. So you can see all the colors you're going to get. Heidi has used this throughout this collection. So I wanted to show you. So this piece is 10 inches long by 7/8 of an inch. When she had this laying out, she measured 2.5 inches from the right side and then 5 inches from the right side, scored, and then this piece and this piece get glued to the card front. When it's closed, it goes completely spanning the whole width of the card. So that worked nicely. Again, she went into the die cut sheet. She used this piece, the longer one, and then she had 2 smaller ones to go onto those segments. It just worked perfectly. The other thing that she's done is that these panels are from the cardstock. So you can actually see the one that is revealed is the dark red, and that's the panels that she used on all 3. So it gives a nice a matte finish between all of this super shiny stuff, which is really great. Now, how did she make those bows? And let me show you. So she took, in fact, I didn't even know you could do this. She took our 8 labels for your greetings cutting dies, and this has been a really popular one. She used this one, and she die cut it twice. And so she ended up, in fact, she's done this little board for me. Isn't that nice? So she took this, and then she folded it. Now, she didn't fold it with a hard fold. This is what I would call a soft fold, because it looks rounded, and that way you get that 3-dimensional look. So she's done that, and she's done it on 2 of them. Now, because she used our cardstock, you're going to get this red color, which is going to work so nicely with this piece. And then she took 2 of them and overlapped them. Now, before she did that, she did a little bit of gilding. So she took the gold Midas ink pad and the blending brush and simply went over just the edges, just to give a little bit of, I'll do it right here, just to give a little bit of gilding right along. Nicer to do that with the blending brush because this is a three-dimensional piece. It's a little bit trickier to do it onto the ink pad, although this isn't too bad. So it just wants to give, again, you're just gilding it a bit. Okay, so that's with our gold. Then you do want to rub off this so that it is clean for your next project. So then she's layered, done the soft fold, glued them together, and then she's taken another piece, and it happens to be this, and folded it around the center. So you can see being folded right there, but she wasn't done. There are two of these little banners. So she did both of them, cut them in half, and layered them right here. Again, she gilded each one. And isn't that a beautiful look? She wasn't done. She did the same thing right here. And I'm hoping you can see this. There is a little piece right there and a little piece there. So just take that banner, snip it, and glue it underneath this piece that has been foam taped on top. Now she added our gold jewel dazzles. You can see that they just add a really nice finish to the whole piece. And I just want to tell you, you're going to see a different bow a little bit later. But isn't that a great look and so super easy? I do want to tell you, our design team uses this all the time, so it's a really good one. But now I know you can actually make wonderful bows out of it. Okay, we're going to get on to our second card, and here it is. And like I said, this is Twas the Night Before Christmas. Now the inserts are always a ghosted back image of the papers that are in the topper collection. And she has used this one with the stars to go down first onto her card. So it just gives that hint of the night sky, kind of carries it from this beautiful piece, which is what she has used on the front of her card. And it is this adorable scorable, excuse me, this adorable scorable, but only using Santa's piece right here. The rest of this she's going to use on the inside of the card. But isn't that beautiful? This is the mirror finish that Hunky Dory often uses, and it just has such a super saturated color onto it. So she has cut this, but she wasn't done with that. Before she attached it to her card, she also took this one of the, let me get this out of the way, of the foiled acetate. Isn't it beautiful? And she glued that using extra sticky tape right along the base of her cutout. So she's got this, and she's attached that just down below, and it is beautiful. And then she used, from this coordinating piece, she used the border here to go right on top of the edge of the foiled acetate. Really pretty. Now, before she foam taped this piece to her card, she added some ribbon. This is obviously out of our gold and silver ribbon collection, and this is really a technique that Heidi uses. So she wraps or cuts the ribbon, glues the ends to the back of her piece, then you can foam tape it on, and then she ties a bow and zots that on top. This circle is one of the die cuts from that same sheet where she pulled the border. And it's, he sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. Very, very good. So that's the front of her card. Now inside her card, this is where she's going to use the rest of the insert. Now she used this on the front of her card. Actually, no, she used the original piece that has the color saturation. But this area she's going to use on the inside of her card. And she did the same thing. She took the other side of the foiled acetate, attached it with the extra sticky tape. Now with the border, she cut it so that she could add a piece at each end, and then took one of the die cuts and foam taped it, and another one right there. Now we're going to go to her next card, which we have to back up just a smidge in order to see it. It's pretty much a slimline card, and this one is measures 8.5 inches long. And let me show you what she used to create this. So there we go. There's the full card. I love this treatment on the front. I think it's so neat. And I love how she used the, in fact, I'll do this. You can really see it. The foiled acetate in the opening. But let me show you what she starts with. Okay. So this is 8.5 by 8.5. So it's a square. She measures in at 4 1/4 and scores it. So that becomes our card. Now, to make that really neat opening, she measured down 4 1/4 inches, which is halfway, and drew a line. So there's a pencil line right there. And then she measured into the center of this piece, which is 2 1/8 inch, and made a mark. Then she took her ruler, I like this ruler because it has a metal edge, placed it on that dot, brought it to the corner, and lifted this up to make that fold. That way you can make it really cleanly. And if I had my bone folder, I'd show you how she scored along that. Now you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Go from that mark over to the point, and then just bring it up. Get it nice and tight, and then you can fold it over. And you've got that opening. Really, really neat. Now, to cover these, which is what she did here, she went back into our Christmas Memories cardstock and used that, one of the reds. And Heidi has given us a pattern so that you can easily cover those sections. Now, obviously this is for this one, and that is going to go right here. Now you can really tuck it right in to the center, but leave some white showing at the top and the bottom. Okay, then this is going to be, let's see, this is one triangle. It's going to go here, and then we flipped it over so you had another triangle to go there, because this cardstock is printed on one side. So you've got, so there's the cardstock. It's printed on one side, so you've got white on the other side. So you always have a white cardstock, which is so useful. But in this particular case, you want to make your card out of white that's white on both sides. That way you can line it, and you can use the patterns to do that very easily. Now look at the wonderful treatment that she's done here. This is with our thin line Dazzles, and the thin line Dazzles have 250 thin lines in them, black, white, gold, silver. And I love what she has done, where she has taken longer strips and overlapped them, and then a shorter one, same strip. And then she put in the same gold jewel Dazzles that we saw on the first card, a little one here, and then the same treatment. I think that's such an elegant look. Certainly goes with the look of this card. Now remember, I told you we'd be bringing back that bow. So we're back to the 8 labels for your greetings. And what Heidi, oh, here's my bone folder. There it is. So that's going to really make it very easy to really get a nice crisp line. So you've got this all done. Now the next thing you're going to do is to attach your foiled acetate. And here's the whole sheet. Simply use the extra sticky tape, so run it along the edge and just position it and trim it to fit your card. That's going to work beautifully, and you're going to have lots of that left. In fact, I think you get several sheets of each of the 4 designs in the package. Now, what about the front? Okay, same idea. We're going to do the same thing of we're die cutting this piece, only this time you're die cutting it 4 times. So the first time you're going to place these not touching, not overlapping, and you're going to place them on the large piece, large pennant banner looking piece. And then you're going to take the next layer and add that where it's on top, like so. And then these are going to actually, this one has been dotted down. They're actually going to overlap. There you go. So then you get that double one. Then you wrap it in the middle with the small piece here, and you've got your piece already. And just glue it down and add a jewel dazzle in the center. Oh, so elegant. I think it'd be a beautiful invitation too, wouldn't it? Okay, on the inside, now the inside we've got two colors of cardstock, both from the Christmas Memories pack. And then she's taken one of these. Now this is the DL ones that Hunky Dory creates, and just really, really sweet. So just glue that down. She chose to accent some of the words and dot the I's with the jewel dazzles just to give some sparkle and shine around Santa. And isn't that a great look? Okay, I have one more, and this is it. So we'll get back a little bit smaller so we can see it. And this has an opening on the front. So let me show you. There we go. So it's going to be like this. So we have very much an interactive card. Now in this case, she has used another insert. Now they're called inserts, but Heidi is using them on the front of her cards too. This is the piece. It's not very exciting when you see it there, but it becomes ever so more exciting when you see it in with the other pieces. So she first cut a piece of this, and you can see it right there. Oh, this is a 5-inch square card, by the way. And then she cut that, and she matted it on the red, the Christmas Memories cardstock, and then opened up her card and used our wonderful 12 circle and scalloped cutting dies to create this large circle. Now she used that same cutting die to cut this one out of the 4x4 pieces. Now you get several images, but she cut it out so that then it could be foam taped to nest right inside of the front of the card. Does that make sense? I hope it does. You'll notice two other things that she did, or three things she did on the front of her card. She used those thin line dazzles, the gold ones that I showed you earlier, around the edge of her card front. You can see, just adds a bit of shine. And then she used the Christmas Greetings Dazzles. Now, this set has the script dazzles, but it also has the tiny dazzles. All of these are for Christmas, obviously. You're going to get 460 individual dazzles in this. Now, what I was looking for is the gold. There we go. So you see the script, and then you've got it in gold. So gold, silver, red, and green. That's going to do it for you. With all of those, you're going to have perfect greetings for your projects. So the ho, ho, ho is right there. On the inside of her card, again, she used that same cardstock, the same insert. So you've got another piece down at the other edge that she used. And then she placed that, the piece of the 4-inch that she had. So you could either place another one, or you could just place the part that was not cut out. And she did foam tape this piece on top. Dear Santa, that's part of the dazzles. It works perfectly. And there you go. So I think that you can see that our 'Twas the Night Before Christmas with the topper collection, the Merry Magic, with the inserts, with the foiled acetate and the topper sheets and the 4x4 just makes a wonderful, wonderful collection. Thank you, Heidi. You have done a great job with your projects, and thank you for watching. If you are interested, over on the right side of your screen, we have a money saver. You might as well save some money on all of these goodies. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please head over to paperwishes.com. Take advantage of the instructions Also, that download, by the way, the download is when you go to the gallery, click on the card, look at the all of the supplies. It's at the bottom. It will say download, so it won't be missing for you. And just thank you so much for joining us and being part of our Paper Wishes family.